Howdy, hey, welcome back to Pacific Northwest Gold Rushers. I'm Jeff, amateur prospector, and this is Gold Rush 23. Well, it's Saturday, and we had wonderful weather for a couple of weeks. The rivers were going down. I was excited. I loaded everything up in my Bronco, ready to run the Mighty Keen. And yesterday it started to rain. And then it rained. It was supposed to end by Friday night, yet this morning, still raining. So, yeah, not good. So, suck part is I did all my darn black sand running last weekend, and which, by the way, I gained a few more subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I got a few emails with which, if you guys look at my about page, it has my email. Some great information came to me, and I knew when I did that last weekend that I didn't have the equipment to run the black sand on beach sand kind of stuff, and I'm still baffles me. That gold is so tiny. It requires some specialty mats. So right now, I drove by some creeks. They're up because the rain brings the creeks up. I could go back to where I was 2 weeks ago, but I don't even know if I can get to that stuff because this is higher than even then. This is another foot higher. So it looks like today's a bust. Still a great drive coming out. A really kind of sucky part, I got to be creative today. I got my DOT physical coming up on Friday. So last weekend I started my, I guess you can call it cleansing, but I had to get back to my healthy diet of mostly vegetables, no beef. Ugh. But God, this sucks. This sucks. I was actually jacked up. I watched Whitewater last night. That's the last season finale and everything, and I was like, oh man, they got, flooded out, and this and that, and it was nasty. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. And they basically had to throw in the towel. Well, today I got to throw in the towel. So I did this morning while I was watching my prospector porn. I decided to go and research, and right now I'm battling between Washington Beach Mining. Yeah, I believe that's what it is. Washington Beach Mining, who has Sawtooth mat. And then I'm also researching the Motherlode mat. So my plan is, depending if you can get them custom or not, my plan is to get a mat for my Keen. Because it's already set up with the pump and everything, and maybe get an adapter to feed into my Bigfoot and get a mat for the Bigfoot. But I'm debating between the Sawtooth and the Motherlode. And again, my sluices work great for river gravels and but I mean, I even have put the gold from last weekend into a separate vial, and I was like looking at them both, and it was like, oh my God, I mean, you can see them both, but the beach sand that you guys run, same thing with Adventure Time Prospecting, he's running, just off the river beach sands. it's like you have to tap it up just to even see it. I mean, that gold is small. It was fun last weekend. Unfortunately, who was it? Metal Mental, you know, took my video as like I took offense. I did not take offense. It was fun. It was a fun challenge. So if you took it that way, buddy, I didn't mean it that way. I welcome all input, all. If you guys call me a knucklehead, try this or try that, or do this or do that, or hey, you know, stop doing this on your videos because it's offending me. Well, that one I'm not going to change because I am who I am. But if you guys have input on mats, because I cannot afford to just buy a whole new system. I saw a lot of people and researched them on the Dream mats, the little tiny little Dream mats and stuff like that. That's unfortunately right now way outside my price range. So I'm battling between the two, the Sawtooth, and hopefully adapt it to a sluice, or the Mother Lode, which hopefully I could get to the, or either or. But my goal for beach sand on these kind of days, and I even brought extra buckets to get some black sand, but there ain't no sand. The river's too high. I'm going to store it up, and so my goal is to run one mat or two sluices. You know, of course I'd have to make an adapter because, you know, my Keen is way wider than my Bigfoot. But if I can get maybe one of each in each mat, each sluice, I think we can nail it. Now, as far as the tailings, I already proved last weekend again that the gold wheel will do it, but I lose about 25%. Now, after that, I could always run the concentrates from the gold wheel into my blue bowl. I'm going to have to start working on that silicone mat for the blue bowl again. But even without it, you know, I conditioned it just like we all do our pans. And you saw the gold. It still catches it. You just have to really be patient. So today is a bust. I'm going to go home and think of something to cook that's relatively healthy. I'm not as bad as last year. Last year my blood pressure was like 230 over 203, literally borderline aneurysm. You know, I weighed 330 pounds and I was literally a walrus. This year it's not as bad. I gained a little weight during the winter because I ran out of home cooked food and started eating processed food. I already lost 10 pounds. My blood pressure's almost where it needs to be. I mean, we're within cubics of it. But the mats is something that I really would appreciate inputs on. Especially from you people who do the beach mining. Now, my new friend, Uncle Jimmy's out west, you know, he offered to let me borrow one and everything. And I'd be happy to do that, but I'm not looking for, hey, I'm going to borrow it for the weekend kind of thing. I'm looking for, if I'm going to invest something, I like, one, people, especially you guys, that do it and say, hey, I tried this, it doesn't quite work. But if you do this and this, or I would go this way. But I'm telling you right now, I can't afford the $250 it costs for the mini, teeny weeny micro Dream mat. I can't afford that kind of stuff. So we're going to improvise, and I don't have any more sluice bodies. So my key is to find something that will fit my Keen, which I believe is like 12 inches wide, to my Bigfoot, which I believe is 10 inches wide, and one's 36 and the other one's, I don't know, I'll have to get a tape measure. But your input would be appreciated. I appreciate all the new subscribers, I really do, especially the comments and the emails. I'm glad some of you found my emails. It's the best way to get a hold of me. This really, not only that, the rain. They said the rain was going to be gone by last night. It hasn't stopped. And my Jeep was really jealous that I took my girl today. I have to park her on the side, but that's my baby. So Richard couldn't come, which he made the right choice. So I'm going to go home and cook some food. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys keep subscribing. And send me a message. Motherlode or Sawtooth. Gold Rush 23. Howdy hey. I was actually on my way home and decided to take the back roads back. But this is something I always wanted to show you guys. Now I live basically on the Skagit River. Not Skagit. Skagit. Yeah, all the Pacific Northwest names are kind of screwed up. But this road here is actually called the Concrete Sauk Valley Road. And we have basically this area, the glaciers came down and they just plowed everything slowly. And of course, everybody knows rivers back in the ancient times were, who knows, everywhere. But I wanted to show you the evolution here, because I always wondered, okay, so this is like ground level, and they put these berms up because this is always falling down, and they try to keep, you know, we get rocks and boulders and trees and everything on here, and they have to shut the road down to clear them. But look at the, I'm going to walk over here so I get closer. Even though this is kind of hairy to do, even though you know it doesn't fall all the time. So, this is all just what washes down every day. They have to come out here several times a year, take an excavator and clear everything out with dump trucks. But look at the evolution. So we have all this, and then like that's got to be 15, 16 feet of clay. Then it goes back into like river gravels, and then another 8 to 10 feet of clay, and then up there it's got to be 30, 40 feet of kind of a clay topsoil mix. And these trees are just barely hanging on, and I mean literally that thing could fall down right now and land on me. But I always wondered, is there gold in that? Unfortunately, I mean, I'm not going to go up there with a pickaxe, I'll tell you that. But I look at areas like that, and they're not huge rocks. They're not huge, but even in that layer there, there's different layers within the layer. And then you can tell that, you know, something happened, and it's just kind of an interesting. And the rocks up there are actually bigger. You'd think they'd be bigger down here, but they're bigger on that, you know, little 8-foot strip. And again, you know, you can see this stuff doesn't take much. I almost fall backwards just looking up, because it's kind of almost sloped like this. But this stuff comes down constantly. I just wanted to show you guys that. This video is kind of a waste of time, but it's interesting. And I got rain all over the lens. Wow. You'd think it's raining here in the Pacific Northwest. So it is fascinating. Let's get back in my Bronco and get home. Just a side note, Gold Rush 23.